Gucci pouch across my body. This is not for fashion. This is not the playground. Ain't no fist fight, bitch. I'm blasting.
Yo, what is good, YouTube? It's your boy Rush, man, and today I'm doing a video that some of you guys asked for, man. Some of you guys asked for some tips and tricks on either how to make tokens, how to make MT, or how to get these free pink diamond players. Now, you know what I'm saying? It took me a minute to get this pink diamond Paul Pierce. It took me a minute because I hadn't been grinding that much on the game, or I didn't feel like completing collections because I just wanted to hold on to my MT. But then with some of my recent pack luck, I decided to just splurge on some collections. So I was streaming the other day, and people asked for some of my tips, so here go some of them. So I'm gonna start off with the first one, right? The first simple one: play triple threat offline, right? You play triple threat offline, you play 5 games, takes about 20 minutes or so to complete all 5 games, you get 3 tokens. Now, it does take some time to accrue all of the tokens, because I mean 3 tokens, you're trying to get that up to 150, that'll take a minute. But if you're lower on the tier, it's easy, the games are quick, and it's just something you can do. You know what I'm saying? Turn on a stream, turn on a video, watch something while you do it, and it'll just pass time quickly, man. That's the grinding way to do it. So that's one of my first tips on that one. A second thing that I think has been really effective for me is also triple threat online. Triple threat online, sometimes I'll get a board with 10 tokens. You know what I'm saying? This is more like a gamble, but this is a way that I made a lot of MT. I'll play games, I'll get like 400 MT per game, and I'll drop the ball, get an extra 400 MT. Maybe some tokens, maybe a pack. It's really just the luck of the draw. This is another way that I've gotten a lot of MT, and it's fun. I like this. This is the best online game mode in this game, in my opinion. I don't really enjoy playing unlimited like that unless I'm going for the player, but just to play the game for fun, I play my team triple threat online, and that's how I've gotten a lot of coins. Another thing that I say you guys could do, it might take a little bit longer, I haven't done a lot of them, but the weekly challenges, man. The weekly challenges give you 3 tokens. Some of the games that you'll play in the weekly challenges and you start off will be real quick games where you just gotta either make a couple shots or just hold the ball off for a quarter and, you know, win the game. And then you get, what's this? Get a little bit, like, what's that, 3,000 MT? Something like that? Yeah, 3,000 something MT. So, I mean, it's not as effective as the triple threat offline or online, but it's still 3 tokens for 5 games. So, as far as the gameplay stuff goes, that's really all I have right now. I mean, if you guys do play My Team Unlimited and get all of them, and you want to participate in the tournament, if you get 12 wins, you do get 15 tokens. That does take a lot more time, but I'd say if you guys are playing triple threat online, and even if you do lose your games or you don't go undefeated, I wouldn't reset the board. I would just go into some games, quit, and at least get those tokens so you didn't waste your time. So as far as gameplay goes, those are some of the tips I have. If you guys have any questions, you can also ask me in the comments. I'm always there to help y'all. But as far as gameplay that goes, and I'm gonna show you guys what I did in the collections to get a lot of tokens so I could build my collector level up, as well as get the tokens to get the free pink diamond players. So, tokens, right? As you go through, you gain more tokens. 250 cards, you get 10. You know what I'm saying? 1,000 cards, you get 250, which was the big bonus that got me my Paul Pierce. Now, I was streaming, and one of my boys in the chat told me, oh, Rush, just buy a whole bunch of the jerseys. So that's what I did. That's one way. If you have a lot of MT, that's one way that you can build your collector level up. I mean, I've gone through and bought all these jerseys, around 600 each. Probably ran me like 150K to go through all of these jerseys, but it was worth it for the tokens. You know what I'm saying? It was an effective way to go through and get the collector level cards to get up to the tokens. So that's one thing I would say. If you guys, that's for you guys that have extra MT laying around. The collection, the people that want to grind is more the gameplay, right? But for the people that don't have as much MT, you know what I'm saying, that's what you want to do. But for the people that do have a surplus of MT, you want to complete collections, man. So I'm going to show you guys the collections I have completed, and I'll tell you what I think, right? Sixers, haven't really looked at it. This one, I completed it just because I actually happened to pull a lot of these players. The silver players on this team, I wouldn't really suggest completing this collection because Giannis ran me like 20K. But I did that one. The Bulls is pretty expensive. I mean, if you go through, look, this dude's like, okay, that might be a little bit of a steal. Shoot, I might cop that. But Cameron Payne, 10K. The Bulls is expensive. The Cavs is not that expensive. Some of these silvers cost me around like 30, 40K to complete the Cavs collection because they don't really have a super expensive player, and they have some silvers. Some of them run for a little bit, but a lot of the silvers are cheap as well. Celtics, expensive collection, but it was my team, and I had almost all the players, so I just completed it. This Hawks collection, I haven't done it yet, but this is one of the cheapest ones, fellas. They have gold. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 7 gold players, right? It ends with Kim Bazemore. The gold players only go for like a K, right? So that's 7K right there, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 silvers that'll run around 4K. So this collection will run you around 35 to 40K ish. Not a super expensive collection. So the Hawks is a collection I would complete. You'll get the 20 tokens if you do it as well. The Heat's another one. Not as many players, but there's a lot of more expensive silvers. So I wouldn't necessarily suggest this collection. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, look, Bam Adebayo for 12K. Some of these silvers can be a little pricey, but if you can, always, if you guys check the auction house, man, check the auction house often, man. Know what cards go for. Once you, like, kind of put in your mind what cards go for, it makes it a lot easier. Like, boom, you see that Bam Adebayo is going for 13K, right? And people are buying that joint for 13K. And then you see him up there for 5K. Snag that joint, man. You can either resell it and get more MT, or you could put them in your collection because you caught them for the cheap. So that's another thing that I think is pretty advantageous that, you know, you can do in the game. Another cheap collection right here, a lot of golds, a cheap best player, and then these silvers might run you a little bit, but the regular Hornets is another cheap one that I knocked out. Knicks, I didn't really bother with this one because there's some pricey silvers in there. This is another cheap one right here as well. The collections that have more gold, amethyst, gold, emerald, ruby, or sapphire players always tend to be the cheapest because those players are pulled the most. You know what I'm saying? The silvers are a little more pricey. I know Jarian Grant's like 5K. This dude was kind of expensive, but when you add it all up, saving money at the top and spending a little bit more at the bottom, it all kind of evens out. So the Magic is another cheap collection. Nets as well. I mean, look, they've got, what's that, 9 gold and emerald players. Another cheap one to knock out. And then the bronzes, you don't even got to worry about those. The bronzes will always be super cheap. This Pacers one is another one it's not a bad one to complete. I just hadn't done it yet just because I didn't feel like, you know what I'm saying, this Corey Joseph right here, 11K. I didn't feel comfortable paying 11K for a fucking Corey Joseph, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't do that one, but the Pacers is another one you can catch for the low. The Pistons one can be a little pricey just because there's a good amount of silvers, and they're taxing on some of these silvers. I'll tell you what. Like Luke Kennard, I know it's Kennard, but like 8, 7K. You just got you gotta know how to play the auction house, man. That's another thing. Wizards collection, this one didn't run me that much either. As you can see, look, 9 players that go from ruby down to gold. And then the only expensive ones for me were Jan Mahinmi. He ran me like a good amount, and then Troy Brown was kind of expensive. But you got to kind of hedge your bets when it comes to that. When you complete some of these collections, some of these players are not going to go for as much, you know what I'm saying, at the top. But once you get down to the bottom, they're a little bit more expensive. So that's why I'd say I'd probably start off with grinding. You know what I'm saying? I'd probably start off with grinding the game, getting your MT up, and then go to collections. You know what I'm saying? Clippers, another cheap one, around 40K. Grizzlies, same thing. They have a lot of silvers, but not all of these are super expensive silver. This was another cheap one. Kings, once again, 40-something K. It adds up after a while. This collection was pretty cheap. Maxi Kleber and Finney Smith and Devin Harris were the most expensive ones, but I caught each of them for like 5K. So I don't know if I sniped them or what. Don't do the Nuggets collection. The Nuggets collection is a highway robbery, bro. Highway robbery. Because the top is cheap, but I mean, shit, look at this nigga. Torrey Craig, 15K. Come on, bro. Don't do that. Pelicans, once again, if you want to buy AD, or if you have AD and you feel like locking them in could be a good bet. Personally, I would not do it, but this Rockets one came cheap. They don't have a lot of players. They have 7 players, or 6 players from Ruby down, and then they have Harden. Now, if you're willing to lock in a Harden and you want to keep him, alright, cool, but this one was another one that just came kind of off my pack luck in pulling these players. Spurs was a cheap one for me too. I pulled some of the silvers, so it was a little bit cheaper, but the Spurs will run you around 35, 40K as well. Suns can run you about 35, 40K as well. I've been scoping out the collections. I just haven't like pulled the trigger and completed all of them yet. I've been kind of grinding my tokens too. So the 50 tokens that I got is all from grinding. And then this one with Westbrook, everybody was just so cheap that I was like, fuck it, let me just buy the Westbrook, you know what I'm saying? So And then the Timberwolves as well. The Timberwolves as well was pretty cheap as well. Some of the silvers I got for like 3K. You know what I'm saying? So, and Jimmy Butler and Cat are like 1,000 each, so it was very cheap. Same with this one, man. A lot of, like, just the Warriors, you don't even want to touch that, bro. That's too expensive. But a lot of the current collections will run you around 40K. The ones without the amethyst. And then if you can catch cards for the low, that's definitely the best bet. Another thing, heat check collections. I've only completed 2 heat check collections now, y'all. Heat check collections do yield you more tokens, but some of the players are more expensive. But I caught some of them for the low. I caught this Luke Kennard for like 4K. Jose Calderon for like 3. So I did lock these in. These do yield you a good amount of stuff, but it can be, some of these heat check collections can be expensive. Like some of the players will be real taxing. I also completed the Timberwolves one as well, but they can be pretty taxing. Then you get to the throwback collections. This one was actually pretty cheap for me. This one ran me around 15 to 20K, something like that. Around 20K, because I did it the day that the packs came out. So doing it the day that the packs came out, the players were the cheapest because everybody was pulling them. So yeah, but they only give you 15 tokens, but they are cheaper. So the throwback Knicks, or just whenever the new throwback packs come out, if there's not a super crazy player in the collection, you can complete them for the cheap. Same with this one, ran me around 25K when it came out. The Steven Jackson was the most expensive, ran me around 25K, got me 15 tokens off that one. And then this one right here, this one's hella cheap. This one ran me like 20K, maybe. I did this one after the fact too. My friend told me, bro, check out this collection. It was hella cheap. This Nuggets one really was, it didn't cost much. But yeah, guys, I think that'll do it for this video, man. I gave you guys some of the tips, some of the things that I believe have worked, man. Quick rundown just so I can go back through it. Y'all see I got all these diamond players. I got all 10 of them. I got 1 pink diamond so far. I'm working on my second one. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to spend money on the game, man, start off with grinding. Start off by grinding domination, knockout domination. This is kind of an updated one because domination, like if you're not done with that, it's kind of, I don't say it's late, but it's like a lot of people have done it. Start off with domination, right? Work your way up, get your MT, get your tokens, get your free players. After domination, if you don't feel comfortable playing online, grind out triple threat offline or play the weekly challenges. You'll get some tokens and some coins. And as you progress through that, the teams will get harder, so you will want to upgrade your team. But players aren't that expensive right now. The good players aren't that expensive. You can get a Harden for like 15K, you know what I'm saying? After you've, you know, accumulated a good amount of MT from playing the offline game modes, then you can slide to triple threat online if you feel like you want some online competition, chance at better and more random rewards. I've gotten some diamond stuff out of that as well. And then after you're done with all that, man, and you've gotten a whole bunch of MT and you're comfortable with your team, I'd say knock out those collections, man. And as time goes on, some of the collections will become cheaper. You got to play the market when the new packs come out. Whenever new packs come out, players are the cheapest, man, because everybody's pulling packs. They're putting their cards up on the market. So if there's a card you've been seeing going for 15K or something, and you want to snag them for 8K, you know what I'm saying? Once the packs come out, just sit on the auction block, scroll, snipe, look through, and just try to see if you can find yourself a nice little deal on those players, man. But look, man, those are the tips and tricks that have helped me get over, you know what I'm saying, 1 million MT and collect over 1,000 cards in the game, man. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me through this video, man. If I helped you out in any way, go ahead and drop a like. If you guys are new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, man. I'm uploading and streaming a lot of my team content lately. So, you know what I'm saying, if you want to keep checking for that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for your boy. If you guys got any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments, man. I'll respond. I'm trying to help y'all, man, because I know my team could be a fun game mode, but it could be a grind too, especially if you don't got bread like that. So with all that being said, man, I hope I could have helped any of you guys out. And until next time, it's been your boy Rush. I'm out, man. Peace.